As soon as God permits me, I'm going to be apologizing for making a mistake, for saying that if you don't pay tithe, you might not make it to heaven. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
So as far as I'm concerned, this is not an apology. This is another dimension of manipulation. On a softer note, he said he's apologizing for saying if you don't give tithe, you may not make it to heaven. In the original clip, he didn't say you may not. He said if you don't pay tithe, you will not make it to heaven. Full stop. Now, where the drama starts is when he's not trying to excuse his previous so-called mistake. He went ahead to say, you know that you can be right and wrong at the same time. He went ahead to say that he's a scientist and he can prove that you can be right and wrong at the same time. Excuse me, sir. You can never be right and wrong at the same time. Both of us are scientists. You know there is a proof called proof and contradiction. Proof by contradiction. That proof by contradiction is existent on the basis that you cannot be right and wrong at the same time. So in an attempt to prove that you can be right and wrong at the same time, he said, for years, we thought that light traveled in a straight line. It's a bit funny because, first, it is true that light travels in a straight line. And Papa is older than me. So the years that he's talking about should be the years before I was born. Because when I was born and I grew up to even learn about light traveling in a straight line, I also learned that light behave in two forms. That's dual nature of light. Light can behave as a particle and at the same time as a wave. So I don't know which one is right and which one is wrong at the same time. So I don't know how his theory proves that you can be right and wrong at the same time, because everything he said is right all the way. Yes, light travels in straight line. Yes, light travels in wave. So it depends at the time which he noticed that light travels in straight line and at the same time as a wave. But notwithstanding, I'll give you maybe a better example that you might think that you can be right and wrong at the same time based on his own analogy. If I ask you now, how many states of matter do we have? If you go to at least a very good primary school, you're going to learn that we have 3 states of matter. But trust me, you have more than 3 states of matter. Now, because I ask you how many states of matter you know and you tell me 3 because you were taught in school that there are 3 states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, doesn't mean that you have been right all this while. You have actually been wrong, because there are more than 3 states of matter and you have been saying 3. So that means you are wrong. There's nothing like all this while we thought it was 3. So that means while we were talking, we were right. No, sir. While you were talking, you were actually wrong. So it's not possible for you to be right and wrong at the same time. Now, this is the entire scam in this apology. He said, if you want to be in the top, if you want to control finances, you should go far, far, far beyond 10%. That means bring more tithe, and then you begin to control finances, and you begin to go to the top. Brothers and sisters, if you want to go to the top, you want to be on top, and you want to control finances, start a business. Sell goods and render services. That is the only way you're going to go to the top, and you are going to control finances. if you don't do any of those services or selling goods and you are on top or you are controlling finances, excuse me, it's not because you're giving tithe, it's because you are doing something, it's because of corruption. There is something corrupt that you're doing. You earn money by exchanging value. Corruption is happening right under your nose, and your people, fellow Christians, are getting rich from corruption, and they call it grace. They say it's grace of God. I'm sorry.